Hi. Everything revolves around one's perspective. What do I mean? Well, 50,000 years ago, the perspective of a Homo sapien, our ancestors, was to survive, to try to have as comfortable an environment as possible in the environment that we have, be it a cave or some kind of a shelter that we made, and of course to eat, and to be close to a water source that we could fulfill our need of drinking water, assimilating water into our systems. This was our life. Our family, our close relatives, possibly even a community of whatever size. It revolved around a very narrow spectrum of needs and responsibilities. Fast forward 50,000 years to today. What is the perspective that we have and share today in our world? Now, most of us have a great deal more time to contemplate, to think about a myriad of different things, because we keep learning that there is more and more, and so we can gaze in more and more directions, closer at hand, microscopes and such, and farther afield, telescopes, our imaginations, our ability to visualize. There's been so much going on in this period of time, even more closely in the last 10,000 years, but I said 50,000. But in the last 10,000 years, it's more or less the same. A struggle for survival versus much more of an opportunity to be able to think where our basic needs are more or less met within the context of our societies, our civilization. It's oftentimes taken for granted. We want more. We don't think about the way things were. We only think about the way things are. Understandable. This is, to some degree, a possible nature for someone to have. Perhaps if our educational system was different, things, people, thoughts, conversations, doctrines, ways of governing, ways of interacting would be different, and things are changing, as they always do. So one way or another, we will get to experiment with and to become more aware of how we change. In the meantime, you and I are here. Have you thought of yourself today as something special? Have you remembered your long line of evolution? Your forefathers, mothers, siblings, children. Have you remembered the many iterations of life that most likely you have gone through to have your DNA reach this point where in an act of conception, your mother's and father's sperm and egg joined to create you. And then, once having accomplished this task, which is in itself a miracle, in every conceivable way, it is a miracle. In whatever way you want to look at it, it's a miracle of evolution, of how procreation works. We are so fortunate today, and yet many are crying about how unlucky they are, wanting society to give them even more. And if they would just open their eyes and their hearts to what we already have, they should be crying tears of joy and thankfulness for everything we already possess. Again, like yesterday, I'm going to stress that you consider your day as being a little different, that you maybe seek to accomplish things or to view things or to interact with things a little differently than you did yesterday or the day before, to view things with a sense of curiosity from a little bit of a different perspective, that you might use this to compare as a gauge to learn, to widen your perspective, one's perspective, and how you do what you do. There is always room for improvement because things settle. If today you were running a mile in under 4 minutes, if you sit back a few days and rest and maybe go on a speaking tour to all your friends and tell them how well you've just done, and take a week or two holiday, let's say, and you come back and you decide that you're going to run that mile again, and this time it took you 4 minutes and 10 seconds, and you realize what? Things are changing. Because you did it once this way doesn't mean that you will just be able to do it this way again. There are a myriad or an infinite number of variables going into every equation of life, every action, every response, or, as it may be, every reaction. How much energy and knowledge do you and experience do you put into your thinking as you respond to the world within and without you, that on the other side of your skin and cilia, your hair? Thinking, oh, thinking about what we're doing all day. We are bundles of miracles. There's so many that it would be hard to define them all on a single page. And yet, how many of us all the time are grateful for this gift of life? How easily is it forgotten, our good fortune to be here now and not 50,000 years ago. You have clothes on your back and readily access food and shelter. Now, with this new baseline of being, of one's environment, what are you going to do with it all? What are you going to accomplish in your life that you are going to be proud of or are proud of? Being here in this scenario, in these moments that we are spending together, that you are spending with yourself, are an incredible opportunity for growth, for increased harmony, for grace, for you to be able to view the world from a wider, more advantageous perspective. That's what meditation and mindfulness are for. How do you do this? For thousands of years, this has been on mankind's plate. So many different techniques have been developed, and many will tout their techniques before you. This and this and this and this and this and this and this. And that's great. And it is in each instance a perspective, an avenue, a path, a way to journey in one's life. Take nothing away from any religion or spiritual tradition. Be happy and glad that someone, some way, has been able to accelerate and become more aware of their spiritual being by their uptake of whatever tradition they choose to follow. Makes sense, yes? Within this context of the universe, of creation that we are a part of. Hello? It is infinitely large, inconceivably more than we can imagine. And someone's going to say to you that they know everything, or that their way is the only way to proceed? What do you think we're doing right here, right now? Listen and learn and see and respond and perceive and reflect. That's all. Be compassionate and have empathy in everything that you can. Allow, accept, compromise, collaborate, communicate in every way that you can. Appreciate, have gratitude for everything we have in life, our understandings, our opportunities, our potential. Practice all day. Practice breathing with awareness, pulsing. with awareness, and shimmering with awareness, all three at once. Feeling the shimmering majesty of one's own being alive. All day. Namaste. All day. And if you forget, which most likely you will from time to time, or most of the time, or all of the time, just once that you remember is a beginning. It is a perspective. Do not be so demanding that you are going to make yourself unhappy. Do not show such a lack of understanding and humility and patience and compassion and kindness towards yourself that you become angry or disappointed. Rise and accept that you are a bundle of miracles and you are climbing on your own journey, guiding your own ship upon the sea of life. And be nice. Be kind to yourself. Widen your perspective. Namaste.